Intelligence officials say U.S. has retrieved craft of non-human origin. A former intelligence official turned whistleblower has given Congress and the intelligence community Inspector General extensive classified information about a deeply covert programs that he says possess retrieved intact and partially intact craft of non-human origin. That's multiples there, intact and partially intact craft. The information, he says, has been illegally withheld from Congress, and he filed a complaint alleging that he suffered illegal retaliation for his confidential disclosures. Reported here for the first time. Other intelligence officials, both active and retired, with knowledge of these programs through their work in various agencies, have independently provided similar corroborating information both on and off the record. The whistleblower, David Charles Grouch, 36, a decorated former combat officer in Afghanistan, is a veteran of the National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency and the National Reconnaissance Office. He served as the Reconnaissance Office's representative to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force from 2019 to 2021. From late 21 to July 22, he was the NGA's co-lead for UAP analysis and its representative to the task force. So again, it's not an idiot guy. It's not an unbelievable guy. It's a credentialed guy from that community, from the intelligence community, that was tasked with doing these things. And it was it lends credibility when he says, I was tasked to find these things. I found them, and they told me to shut the hell up.
Especially when they're in the service, because I'm like, if they've been in the service, they know some shit.
Yeah. And again, what basis, what reason would he have for doing this and just destroying his career instantly?
I mean,
the task force was established to investigate what were once called unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, and are now officially called unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAP. The task force was led by the Department.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
And I couldn't either. I had that demands a response. You can't just, I couldn't ignore that. We're weird. The task force was led by the Department of the Navy under the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security. So this isn't a fly-by-night organization. This is a legit government organization that is conducting a legitimate government investigation.
Mm-hmm.
It has since been recognized and expanded into the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office to include investigations of objects operating underwater. See Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal aliens. Grouch said the recoveries of partial fragments through and up to intact vehicles have been made for decades, through the present day, by the government, its allies, and defense contractors. Analysis determined that the objects retrieved are of exotic origin, non-human intelligence, whether extraterrestrial or unknown origin, based on the vehicle morphologies and material science testing, and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures, he said. In filing his complaint, and again, he didn't come to the news with this, he didn't go around the talk show circuit, he filed a formal complaint with Congress.
Yeah, holy cow.
So in filing his complaint, Grouch is represented by a lawyer who served as the original Intelligence Committee Inspector General. Again, a guy not to F around with.
Yeah, and yeah.
I mean, this is the Inspector General for the intelligence community.
He is the guy. He knows the things.
And we're not talking about prosaic origins or identities, Grouch said, referencing information he provided Congress and the current ICIG. The material includes intact and partially intact vehicles, end quote. In accordance with protocols, Grouch provided the Defense Office of pre-publication and security review at the Department of Defense with the information he intended to disclose to us. His on-the-record statements were all cleared for open publication on April 4th, April 6th, and 23rd in documents provided to us. And let's see, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Grouch's disclosures and those of non-public witnesses under new protective provisions of the latest defense appropriations bill signal a growing determination by some of the government to unravel a colossal enigma with national security implications that has bedeviled the military and tantalized the public going back to World War II and beyond. For many decades, the Air Force carried out a disinformation campaign to discredit reported sightings of unexplained objects. Now, with 2 public hearings and many classified briefings under its belt, Congress is pressing for answers. Carl E. Nell, a recently retired Army colonel and current aerospace executive who was the Army's liaison for the UAP task force from 2021 to 2022 and worked with Grouch there, characterizes Grouch as beyond reproach.
Hold on, I'm taking a look at his ribbon rack real quick. I want to see his rack. I was trying to look at his rack.
I know. I'm making his rack bigger.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
All right, we've embiggened his rack.
Okay. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Now we have to unembiggen it. All right, there we go.
Yeah, he has a nice rack. He's got a nice rack.
Christopher Mellon, who spent nearly 20 years in the U.S. intelligence community and served as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, has worked with Congress for years on unidentified aerial phenomenon. Quote, a number of well-placed current and former officials have shared detailed information with me regarding this alleged program, including insights into history, governing documents, and the location where a craft was allegedly abandoned and recovered, Mellon said. However, it is a delicate matter getting this potentially explosive information into the right hands for validation. This is made harder by the fact, rightly or wrongly, a number of potential sources do not trust the leadership of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office established by Congress. End quote. But some insiders are now willing to take the risk of coming forward for the first time with knowledge of this recovery program. These recovery programs. Jonathan Gray, a generational officer of the United States intelligence community with a top secret clearance, who currently works for the National Air and Space Intelligence Center, where the analysis of UAP has been his focus. Previously, he had experience serving private aerospace and the Department of Defense Special Directives Task Forces. Government and their titles. The non-human intelligence phenomenon is real. We are not alone, Gray said. Retrieval of this kind are not limited to the United States. This is a global phenomenon, and yet a global solution continues to elude us. Fascinating. I mean, this is just fascinating stuff. Yeah, as the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, Grouch served as a Senior Intelligence Capabilities Integration Officer, cleared at the top secret compartmented information level, and was the agency's Senior Technical Advisor for Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Analysis, Transmedium issues from 2016 to 2021. He served with the National Reconnaissance Office as Senior Intelligence Officer and led the production of the NRO's Director's Daily Briefing. Grouch was a GS-15 civilian, the military equivalent of a colonel. Grouch has served as an intelligence officer for over 14 years. A veteran of the Air Force, he has numerous awards and decorations for his participation in covert and clandestine operations to advance American security.
Oh,
there he is. According to
clandestine operations, the best kind,
the only kind. and this is a long ass article that goes on for a long ass time. But that kind of gives us the background. And where is it here? Grouch's willingness to take risks and speak out appears to be emboldening others with similar knowledge who believe in greater transparency, which I think is important. You got to be the one person to step forward. And his credentials look darn good to me.
Yeah. He seems credible.
And the people supporting him, and hell, even his lawyer was the Intelligence Community Inspector General,
right?
So these aren't idiots. These aren't low-level people that have no business talking about this stuff. Mm-hmm. These are real people with real responsibilities and real respect.